That's right, I am still on my nonsense. But this time, it's collaborative nonsense. Did that sound like me? Sounds like I'm trying to be a TV presenter. I've partnered with 3 other creative YouTubers on an emoji challenge. We all work in different mediums, so we've got Caitlin McKeag doing digital illustration, Dee from Aussie Crafter with sculpture, Priscilla with painting, and of course me doing sewing. So we have each selected an emoji, and the challenge is to combine all 4 of them into one creature / piece. I need you to understand how this started. Caitlin kicked it off and chose a bison. A bison. I laughed a lot because I was like, what am I going to do with a bison as a sewing project? Then Dee chose a mushroom / toadstool, very cute. I chose stars because of course I did. And then Priscilla came in to round it out with an octopus. And I'm making a costume from all of this. Are you ready? Here is the concept. Sexy, psychedelic space bison is getting attacked by a space octopus. I know sexy wasn't one of the prompts, but I couldn't help myself. It's part of it now. I just have a vision, all right? My vision? We have over-the-knee high heel boots embroidered with stars and some constellations, like these ones that I saw on Pinterest. We've also got a mini skirt, cape jacket thing, and a hat with horns all in fur, and a space helmet with a tiny octopus attacking it. I can't explain why this is how I interpreted the challenge, it just is. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be good. I picked up these thigh-high boots on Facebook Marketplace for $30, and I'm honestly kind of excited to have an excuse to wear thigh-high boots because I literally never have, and it's been a dream of mine since I was a child, which is a weird thing to say, but I don't know, I really liked the style in Pretty Woman. And they're like a nice stretchy suede, very exciting. I got this coat also on Facebook Marketplace for $20. The fur on this was exactly the kind of texture I wanted for a bison. So the plan, if it works, is to paint this to get some psychedelic colors. And I picked up this motorbike helmet, also from Facebook Marketplace, for $15. Hang on. This is getting quite expensive. I mean, I got it all secondhand. Yeah, that's good, but there's also gonna be foam clay for the little octopus, right? Well, yeah, but I've already got that. Okay, but you still need to get some plasti dip for the helmet. That's $40. It's $40? Okay, yeah, we are in trouble. Yeah, it's all adding up is what I'm saying. Yeah, I know that's a lot. That's okay. Yeah, that's a budget. Yeah, that's not great. Oh, don't you worry, darlings. I've got this one. Oh, you're here, thank God. Yes, darling, that is how people normally greet me. Well, I have wonderful news. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Did you see that title card? Pretty, right? I learned that on Skillshare. If you somehow don't know, Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, productivity, sewing, and all sorts of crafts. I've been using Procreate on the iPad for years now, but I haven't really improved much with it. So I took 2 classes by Kirsten De Palma, Hand Lettering for Beginners, the fundamentals of drawing beautiful letters, and her follow-up class, Procreate Lettering for Beginners. The classes are efficient and practical, which is perfect for my impatient brain, so you can jump straight into the project with each of the steps clearly laid out. There were so many useful tips, like how to know when the letter should be thick versus thin, and I have always struggled with that. I never would have thought to look for a setting that stops your hand from making marks on the page in Procreate. I didn't know you could do that. I think what I love about Skillshare, particularly for learning programs like Procreate or the Adobe suite, or even new skills like knitting, I don't have the correct language to search for what I need. But in a Skillshare class, it's laid out for you, so you don't have to go digging through a bunch of disconnected online tutorials only to find out that outline doesn't mean what you think it means in Photoshop. It's called stroke for some reason. Anyway, the first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So get started today. Thanks, Skillshare. I'm very sleepy because I had lunch. I'm realizing now the entire mushroom element of this is resting on me being able to color this fur. And the way that I'm going to attempt to do it is watering down acrylic paints, brushing it on, and then brushing it through with a toothbrush, because that is what someone said they do for cosplays in the comments of a YouTube video that I didn't actually watch. So I want to do just a little test section on this before we actually start with the construction of it to see, is that a bug? No, it's fluff, it's okay. So yeah, we'll do a test, and if that doesn't work, I did not think through a backup for this, and I'm realizing that's now pretty misguided. And so I would also need to be careful when I do this that I don't get it on the other sections. So I probably should have figured out how I wanted to do that too. I used a hair tie, but I don't think it helped in the slightest. Also, this is what I look like when I'm having fun. It's good, huh? I'm gonna say it, that doesn't look too bad. Test will be how it dries, and I think when it dries, I can also run the toothbrush through it. Exciting. Oh, it's like my only hair tie. So I'll leave that test to dry, and I'll figure out what I'm doing next. So while that little test So while that little test patch is drying and we can get an idea of if it's actually going to work at all, thought we can start getting this ready. I have found, I gotta get it. I'm so sore I exercised yesterday. So I was thinking I'd get plaster dip, but I did find that we have a paint and prime and then a paint. I want to try these first because I already own them and it's free that way. I hate the smell of this. Does anyone actually like the Aldi cleaning products? They smell so bad. God, I hope that that's like chocolate and not blood. It worked. So let's take this coat apart and then I can figure out exactly how much fabric I have to work with. Start whipping up a hat, cape thing. I'm wondering if maybe I can keep that kind of segment intact. I do remember it's pretty small for me. Oh, it's so warm and I don't want to try this on, but I'm gonna have to try this on. Okay, here's what I am thinking. Other than the fact that I am extremely warm in this, oh my God, not the right season to be dressing up as bison. So the sleeves are a bit short, but if you look at a picture of a bison, their sleeves are a little bit short. So it works. I think that we leave the jacket as a jacket up the top and we crop it, and then I use this entire bottom half to make my hat, put some trim on my skirt and maybe a tail. I can already tell this is gonna be so much fun. This is what we have left in terms of our skirt and our hat. That's pretty good. We might actually be able to cover most of a terrible mini skirt with it. I think we get to construction first and then we will paint everything once it's in its final form. I'm gonna do a second coat of that helmet though. First I had to get the mannequin ready, and as always when I put an outfit onto it, a small spider decided that this was the perfect place to set up shop, so I had to get rid of him first. So we have our little coat, cute. I want to do the hat, because I think the hat is far more important than the skirt. I'm thinking just like a really basic floof style. Is it just me or does that mannequin look exactly like Benedict Cumberbatch? So like a band and then a circle. And we're gonna do a mock-up because I don't want to waste any of that fabric. I took a quick look at how a pattern for this is actually made and I didn't believe that it could be so simple, hence why I did the mock-up even though it's a strip and a circle. Looks like a chef hat. Or like a nurse's hat. I don't know. It's definitely a profession. It's probably fine. I'm thinking I might just use this as the lining. I think we can cut out the hat and the fur. I'm very scared. Actually, it was time to do some unpicking and then it was time to go see Liz Gilbert do a talk.
I'll just strike some poses.
She's the author of Big Magic. I am a huge fan. Honestly, I go on about it probably a little bit too much, but this was one of my Christmas presents from Thomas and I had a great time. Good morning. I give up on my hair. I think what I'm gonna do is just grow it really long and just lean into the messiness of it. The grays are starting, so I might just let them run wild and we'll enter into my hag witch era. That's gonna be good. I'm excited for that. I have unpicked our fur. The lining is off. We are ready to go. I think it went in my mouth. There's a bit of fluff. Let's make a hat. I'm really proud of myself. I remembered to use an X-Acto knife, which everyone says you have to do, and it is super annoying to work with actually, but the fur does look better. We have all of this left to do a skirt. That is so exciting. That means we're doing a fur skirt. Well, I'm just gonna pin this together and then attach it to this, I guess. While we're working on the hat, let's check how Dee from Aussie Crafter is going with her project.
Yeah, I've got concerns.
Oh my gosh, he looks so cute. Honestly, I can't wait to see what that one looks like finished. We're hopefully all publishing like around about the same time, at least on the same day, so I will put the links to all of the videos in the description. I love it so much. I kind of just wish that this was a hat that I own. I think we need some horns for this. Change my mind. You know how I just said horns? We're not doing horns because while we're at it, we should just finish the ensemble. Look at it. I am loving it so much. We're working with the fabric, so let's just make a skirt while we're at it. Not even kidding, I'm gonna keep an eye out at the op shop for some more faux fur because I really do love that hat and I want one. Also, this is the worst skirt I have ever constructed. I should not drape with stretch fabrics. Just don't look closely. Well, the food dye went straight through the gloves. Our drawstring is drying outside on the line. It shouldn't take long because it's 35 degrees. We have our really terrible skirt, just like really poorly put together. But this is just our base layer that we can now attach the fur to. All right, she doesn't exactly look great. I'm just gonna like gather these bits in, although this is stretchy fabric. So I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? What am I doing? Why is the skirt the hardest part of this? I'm just gonna try sewing it on. We'll see what happens. I'm just gonna hand stitch it. Wish me luck. But first, I heard a loud noise outside, so I climbed up to investigate. I don't know why the camera was filming, it just was. But then I got onto my hand sewing, and it was definitely the right choice with this one because of all the patches that I was kind of sewing together. It was very piecey and I was just chopping bits away as I went. So definitely the right choice. Plus, I didn't have to use the machine, and that's my favorite. Also, it was completely unnecessary to dye the drawstring. I just tucked it in, you can't see it. This skirt is taking so long. It needs to be shorter in the back, and I think I need to add some elastic to the waistband. You can see it's like rolling down here, which I am not loving. I was hoping it would sit out a little bit. It's very much like I want to say cave woman style, and that's what I was going for, so I'm happy with that. Although it is starting to sink in how much fabric there is to paint. I fixed that issue by feeding some elastic through the waistband. So tedious, oh my gosh. And then I did some reshaping of the skirt. Okay, I had to do quite a bit of reshaping the skirt because I had tried to maximize the amount of fur, and that actually wasn't helping me and it was sitting kind of weird. So I have done some fit adjustments and I am finally happy with it. Haha, look at this little ensemble. It's almost a shame we're gonna paint it. I mean, this part's still a bit weird actually now that I look at it. But what is going on here? I might have to fix that. Did I fix the wrong part? I might have, oh no. Might have actually altered the wrong part. I didn't try this on. Anyway, I'm sure it's fine. Look what I have. That's gonna be a tail. I'm gonna make the little like, oh, I wanna say stem of the tail. I don't know what it is before you get to the tuft, but I'm just gonna use some of this satin from the lining. But first I have to go and pick up some supplies for my next project. So I will see you probably after dinner, or maybe not, who knows. Look, maybe I'm signing off, maybe I'm not. See you soon. Yes, it has a tail now. Probably should have painted it before I attached it though. I picked up my materials. I have some very good stuff. I'm not gonna tell you what it is because I don't want to ruin the surprise. But I think I've got a few more tweaks that I want to do to the fit of this. I want to make this a bit shorter. So yeah, I'm gonna try it on, do some tweaks, and yeah, do that. I had no end to that sentence. Gosh, it is dark today. Hi, good morning. I went to bed with wet hair and it's also really humid today, so I don't know. We're heading into our witchy hag phase early, I guess. So there's an ensemble back there. I tried it on this morning. It looks so 70s. So I think we're gonna lean into that because that's part of the whole psychedelic thing, right? That'll work. Let's get to painting. I didn't say all the words that time. Let's get to painting. All right, here are our test colors. Definitely not. That's a no also. I'm thinking we do purple. This is supposed to be like a neon kind of yellowy green, but it loses it on the pink, so I'm glad I tested it. What I'm thinking is maybe we just do the teal, the pink, and the purple because I am panicking that I'm about to ruin this. I feel like it's gonna go really bad, but I have committed to this, and if I don't paint it, I just have a pastel pink bison costume that doesn't make any sense. Let's just do it. Oh yeah, I used this bit of cardboard to try to stop the paint from bleeding into the other areas of the fur. Oh my God. I was so anxious about doing this. I think I futzed around for about 45 minutes, like setting it up and figuring out the colors and being like, yeah, okay, we're gonna start it. And like, maybe it's gonna be awful. I might be ruining it. I'm having so much fun. This, fully worth it, even if it doesn't turn out. But it also looks really good. That's what I pictured. I mean, not just one line. Obviously, we're gonna keep going. But like, it's looking really nice on the fur. I'll show you. Hang on. Just having a great day. I'm honestly like now quite looking forward to just spending the next like 6 hours doing this. This is really relaxing. Got some music on. It's just, I'm having a good time. Look at that. It's nice. So yeah, we're gonna have these psychedelic patterns. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Hi, Alfie. Hello. Papa's playing a scary video game, isn't he? Wanna hang out with me while I do painting? Yeah, I'm gonna put some music on. We're gonna have a chill time. I genuinely had such a good time painting this fur. It was a little bit time consuming brushing all the paint through, but I really didn't mind. It was a bit tricky getting the ratio of water to paint correct, and some parts ended up a little bit crispier than others. And to be honest, I don't think I could wear this out in the rain now, but still. It's a good time. I just realized something. I have been looking at this going like, I don't know, I'm getting like Monsters Inc. vibes for some reason, and also the Cheshire Cat. Yeah, because these are the colors of the Cheshire Cat, and these are the colors of Sully from Monsters Inc. I don't think it's giving psychedelic yet. It's giving Monsters Inc. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, while I figure that out, why don't we check out how Priscilla's going with her project? Uh-oh. No, I'm sure it's great. She's just being modest. Have you seen her murals? They're insane. I reached the point in the project where I was like, this is a huge mistake and I regret everything. And I just could not stop thinking about how much it looks like Sully. It's almost spot on. We're adding more colors. It's the only way. It's the only way this is actually gonna come across as psychedelic. I'm just gonna keep at it. I am also gonna stop and go make beef stroganoff soon. Well, no, not beef stroganoff, mushroom stroganoff. But did you see Max Miller's original beef stroganoff video? It made me want stroganoff, so that's what we're having tonight. I was hoping I would get it finished today. That's not gonna happen, but it's all good. We'll finish it up in the morning and move on. All right, well, I hope you're having a lovely day. Hope things are going well. I'm gonna keep doing this and try to not make the fur go brown, because that's what happens when you combine the green and the orange. It goes brown, so I have to be very careful of that. Okay, bye. Oh yeah, this is helping. I mean, I'm not sure it looks psychedelic yet, but it doesn't look like Sully anymore, so a win is a win. Also, I forgot what I was working on, and I came back from dinner and I was just like, Jesus Christ, it's very bright. It's gonna be good. I swear to God, my hair is worse every day of this project. Anyway, she is looking less like Sully. I don't know that I would say it's psychedelic, but we're moving on. This morning I tried giving it a brush out, just some of the more chunkier bits. It's definitely crispy. I also have a feeling that because this was done with watered down acrylics, that I should not wear this in the rain. Otherwise I might drip colors everywhere. Speaking of dripping, I'm really glad I put this down because what happened there? I did not even notice that I was doing that at the time. Moving on. For the horns, I was inspired by these wire and rice paper sculptures, specifically these ones with lights in them. I have some tissue paper, some wire, PVA glue, tape, and fairy lights. We might try and shove these inside the horns maybe, so they light up and look like they've got stars in them. This wire bends a little too easily. I did a little practice one first with the tissue paper because look, I know that those original ones that I referenced are done with rice paper, but I literally could not find any anywhere. So tissue paper was what I had and that's what we used. That's kind of promising. I need to go and pick up more materials for my next project. So I will show you, okay? I feel bad just like constantly teasing it without actually showing it. So I will show you what I pick up, but we gotta go do that. And then we're gonna continue with these horns. So we'll let these dry. I'll see you in a bit. All right, I picked up my supplies, but I am not gonna tell you what it's for. Rest assured, it's worse than you think. I'm so excited. Pretty good. So where it's a single layer, it is not strong enough. It's very thin, but that's pretty good. This is like some plastic coated wire. I'm not really sure what its deal is. It holds its shape better than the armature wire. Wire. It holds its shape better than the armature wire. It's that time of the video again, as in it's time for me to remind you to like the video if you're enjoying it, and to subscribe if you haven't already, because friends, I am in my silly era and I have got some unhinged nonsense coming your way and I am super excited about it. That's all I've got to say about it. Back to the video. You know it's getting late in the day when I'm wearing my I blend in with the wall cardigan. These ones are dry. Honestly, more symmetrical than my normal work. So let's hope this part's easier. Let's get some PVA and some tissue paper and coat these horns. Let's go. Oh yeah, I was too busy spruiking my channel earlier to tell you that, oh my god, the wire and tape was so tedious. I didn't have masking tape. Oh, it stuck to my hands. And the tape that I did have was not working. I'm actually out of regular sticky tape as well, but like who has time to go buy that? And so yeah, I was hoping that this part was gonna be easier than that, and it was somewhat. This isn't my favorite craft, it turns out, but I'm glad I tried it. It kind of resembles a horn. That'll do. You just won't look too closely. Cool. I'm gonna do the second horn. I'm probably exaggerating. I would try this again. I just need better tape, I think. Or if someone knows how you're meant to join them, let me know. All right, one of them's wonky, so I can only get them to stand upright if they're kissing. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. No, I just cannot wear this cardigan. Yeah, all right. I feel better about that. Hi. Let's check out how the horns went overnight. They did not fall over. However, we've got some little, well, I mean, they are stuck together. Huh. Yeah. Whoops, there we go. Pretty good. There's a couple little bits that are like sticking up. So I'm gonna try and just add some PVA to that and smooth it out a little bit. We'll get that done. We'll let them dry and then we will figure out how we attach them to the hat. I am so happy with that. That looks so much more like a space helmet now. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is build our little octopus on this with the foam clay, and then we can work on a paint job for this. We have our foam clay. I have my reference images. So glad I looked that up before I started. Once again, I forgot what an octopus looks like. I was like, it's got tentacles. I forgot they have a head. So yes, I have some pictures of octopuses, octopi, let's say octopuses. I can't tell you how much I don't want to put this helmet on my head. Like I said, I got it from Facebook Marketplace for 15 bucks. It's been well used, is the thing thing and I really don't want to put my head in there. The way I picture it is I tuck this under my arm, like an astronaut. I need the room for my arm to be able to go on top. So I think what we're gonna do is put the head of the octopus here, like kind of on towards the front, and then have one of its legs going, or are they arms? I feel like they're arms. Have one of its arms curling up inside the helmet and then wrapping around to provide a visual reason for me to not be wearing this on my head. I know it's kind of cheating, and I'm sure that the costume would look fun with me wearing it, but I don't want to. Gross. All right, cool. I started out with a ball of foil for the base of the head so that I wouldn't have to use so much of my foam clay, and then got to shaping the head around it. If you haven't used foam clay before, it's a great medium because it air dries and it kind of dries soft so that the finished piece is pliable and won't break. I tried putting some eyes on and almost immediately pulled them off because the head shape just wasn't right. Once I was happy with that though, I made the inexplicable decision to only make half the length of the legs, and I was just gonna add the rest on later, I guess? But foam clay is notoriously kind of hard to smooth the joints on, so this was frankly an insane approach. Also, just so you know, I'm having trouble doing my voiceover because Alfie would like attention right now and he's being very snuggly. Also, I told you my hair is getting worse in this video. What is that? What is that bird's nest? Once I had added on all the leg extensions, I smoothed the leg, arm joints, so that it looked more like an octopus and less like a pile of upsetting hot dogs. Next, I re-added the eyeballs. I did a better job this time, smoothed them out nicer. I made sure I added some eyelids and made him look really grumpy. And then it was time to just add some texture, because why not? All right, that's what it's looking like. So I think, oh my gosh, my hair. Yeah, we're continuing the theme of it just getting worse. All right, that needs, it said I think 48 hours to dry. Let me just check. 48 hours, yeah. That needs a bit of time to dry. I'll probably only give it 24 hours, it's fine. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna paint the NASA logo on the back of the helmet, except it's gonna be BASA for Bison Aeronautical and Space Administration. I did it. I had to ask Thomas what NASA stands for. I could not remember. Anyway, while I'm doing this paint job, why don't we check in and see how Caitlin is going?
Yeah.
Nice. To be honest, that's how I feel about this paint job. It's all good. We're all in this together. Hi, good morning. It is a cozy crafting day today. I am excited. We've got grey skies. It might be raining a little bit. I can't tell. We have to do the thing I've been putting off, and that's attaching the horns to the hat. Let's figure out how to get the lights into here, the battery pack onto the hat, and these attached to the hat. I don't know if you can tell, I have no plan for this. Let's see if we can find some Velcro. I found some Velcro. You know, sometimes I start to feel like I'm getting the hang of this. I actually do all right when I make my videos. And then I do something like this, where I set up my camera and then nothing is in shot. But basically, I found some double-sided tape, I stuck some Velcro to the battery pack, still managed to get a great shot of the top of my head, just, again, top-notch stuff. And then I sewed the Velcro into the hat as well, which affected how the hat sat on my head. And obviously that was a really important thing to do with my time, because that way I could remove the battery pack and change it, because I'm gonna wear this hat all the time. Okay, I recorded an entire section with no audio for like a good 10 minutes. So I've had a second coffee. I have cookies. We're hoping my brain's gonna be a little bit better, and maybe let's like spiral it in. I don't think that's any better. It turns out the cookie and the coffee have not helped because I didn't think about the hole. I have to get this through a hole in the hat. Oh God, this is so difficult. Ow. I bit my tongue. I got crumbs on the hat. I'm gonna figure this out just in top-down view, and I'll see you when this is done, because it's just not my day today. I was pretty apprehensive about this, but amazingly, just sewing the paper onto the hat worked. Oh my God. So the battery pack is affecting the fit. So it's like much higher than it was, but amazingly, the horns are pointing upwards. Yeah, look, the fit's not great anymore, but we'll live with it. All right, it's time for hooves. Forbidden custard. I realized at some point that my initial design at the start of the video didn't include hooves, which is A huge oversight. I'm not doing the hoof feet, specifically because I got a super cute pair of boots, as you saw at the start. And also, I've already seen Rachel Maxey try to make hoof shoes, and it just looks so complicated, and I'm not about it. But I can make hoof hands. We're doing paper mache. Here is my plan. I'm going to wrap this in Glad wrap to protect it so that I can then get the hoof off. I added paint to the paper mache glue in the hopes that I wouldn't have to paint it afterwards. It had middling results. Oh, I've just thought of a better way to do this. These should have a cardboard base. What am I doing? Seriously, doing it with toilet paper, it was gonna take so long to dry. And yes, I said toilet paper because I wasn't smart enough to remember that I should be using paper towel. I don't know, I thought maybe it was cheaper. Oh my god, it's so awkward. Make it stop. I think I pulled some skin off my lip with the tape. That really hurt. I really did. It still hurt 2 days later. Okay, so then this is our hoof. We put our hand into it, and then I guess I might foam clay the like hoofy bit because this is what a bison hoof looks like. Not exactly what I was picturing, to be honest. I did continue on for a while with the toilet paper, but I eventually figured out that this was just horrible to work with and switched to paper towel, and it went a lot better. I also remembered that you're meant to dip it in the bowl. Every time I do paper mache, it's like it's the first time I've done it. So the base of our hooves are drying in the sun, and I need that layer to dry before I can add on the little actual hoof claw bits. This is claws, this isn't air quotes, this is sort of the hooves look like. In terms of the boots, I can't find the photo that I saved of these embroidered boots that I wanted to replicate. I saw it months ago, saved it, and then my memory of it is all that I'm going by. I haven't looked at the picture again since I first saw it, and I have changed it in my head. I actually think this is the original reference image that I found, and that's not really what I'm picturing for these boots, like at all. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to embroider some constellations on it, and I've got some fancy thread, and I've got some actual stars and moons still left over from my 5,000 subscribers video. What is this? There's still more charms. I think what we'll do while we're waiting for everything to dry, let's get started on the boots. So I'm feeling a little bit apprehensive about this embroidery job because the thing is, these boots kind of rely on there being stretch in the fabric, and as soon as I try to embroider a constellation on it, it's not gonna stretch anymore. But we'll give it a go, we'll do some test ones. I bought this pretty navy and silver thread specifically for the purpose of embroidering these boots, only to realize that the thread is way too thick for embroidering and it was really hard to pull through. So far I hate it, but let's see if it's also itchy when I put it on. Hi. I really don't like this. Even though I left like quite a bit of give, it stretched real tight when I put it on. And yeah, and I just don't like how it's sitting. That's not what I was picturing. So I've done some practice ones. I went digging through my box of jewels. Shooting star, fancy star, and then like randomly spread out moons and stars. That's it, that's the one. So let's have some cozy embroidery time. I'm gonna put a show on and I am going to just embroider some lovely stars on these shoes and continue waiting for everything else to dry. I switched to a grey silk thread, and this was great because number one, it pulled through the fabric really easily, but number two, because it is so fine, I was able to tie the knots on the outsides of the shoes so that they wouldn't be super itchy on the inside, which was definitely a problem with that blue fancy thread. I'm gonna have to think of something else to do with that thread. Good morning. I have finished embroidering the shoes. I finished that this morning. Honestly, it took a little while. Now it's time to deal with these. So putting the paint in did not exactly have the effect that was desired. More to the point, I don't know how to turn this into this. I was picturing horses' hooves, to be honest. At first they were a bit too big to stay on my hand, so I reshaped them and accidentally solved my own problem because now they were in a much better shape in order to put the hoofy bits on. Shut up, I'm gonna figure it out. That laugh was fair, they were looking pretty rough at this stage, but they honestly worked out way better than I thought they would. It was pretty easy to shape these little, I'm gonna say toenails. I think that'll do. Oh, it looks so stupid. Definitely worth it. I'm gonna leave these to dry. Let's move on to the octopus. I love him so much. It looks way better than I pictured in my head. I realized that this was gonna be really tricky to paint because the chances of me getting paint on the helmet were 100%. So I found this reference image of an octopus whose coloring is like a gradient from white to deep orange, and I figured that if I followed this, I had an excuse not to paint to the edges of the octopus. I started with a pale yellow layer, and my technique for the whole thing was to do my approximation of a dry brush. Then I did a yellow-orange layer. and then the same orangey red that was on the outfit for some continuity. We've got our base color. I'm really happy with this. So now I'm gonna go in and color in his eyes, and just, I'm gonna attempt to do a couple of little highlights with white and like lilac. I don't know, this, I'm not good at details, I'm not good at this part. So look, take a look now. This might be as good as it gets. We might be about to overshade and ruin it, but he at least needs eyes, so let's go. Okay, I actually love how the eyes turned out. And here's the thing, this looked so good in person, but you cannot see that I did any highlights whatsoever. It was lilac, it looked really good. I also wanted to weather it a little bit, so I flicked some dirt on it. And I also wanted it to have alien blood, so I tried flicking green paint in my studio. This was not the smartest thing I've ever done, but I love how this turned out. Probably my favorite feature of the entire thing, but I wanted it to look like I had gotten alien blood like all over me, and that's why I had taken the helmet off, and so that's why I had the handprint. Next, it was just painting up those hooves. I wanted the color of the hooves to match the shoes that I had so that it would again have a little bit of cohesion. I didn't think through how I would dry this. There we are. This is one of those moments where I'm so glad that I keep every scrap of fabric. I think I only had a handful of this fur left at the end. I used most of it on finishing up the hooves, and I figured out how you're supposed to use hot glue guns. You have to put the glue on really quickly, stick the thing on really quickly, and also it helps if one of those things is fabric. So these obviously make me really, really happy. Oh yes. With that, I will see you for the reveal. And I'm doing it. I don't care that it's Rachel Maxey's thing. I'm doing it. Okay, bye. Bye. I am sweating so much and it is not even a hot day. This is ridiculous. This has been such a fun collaboration. What an amazing prompt. I don't think I would have come up with this on my own. Don't forget to check out Dee and Priscilla and Caitlin to see how they approach the same challenge. Thanks for hanging out. Bye. Look at you saving the day. Here you go. Ooh, lovely, darling. Champagne? No, ginger beer. Ah. Cheers. Cheers. Yeah, it's good. Oh, I'm going to need to get us some more sponsorships.